Welcome to Stop Wasting Your Wine, a wine review podcast dedicated to helping you discover great wines with great value for every occasion. On this episode, we review
the Tenuta di Salviano Rigogoli 2022 Umbria Bianco IGT.
It's a little bit of a mouthful. Well said, sir.
It was.
Hey, welcome back to Stop.
It has a cool story. It has a cool backstory, so
Does
I'm
it?
excited to talk about that. Yeah.
I can't wait. Wait. Now I'm super excited.
Me neither.
Worth
Wow.
all the words.
Let me talk to the listeners for a second. Listen, welcome back to Stop Wasting Your Wine. I'm going to say the best damn wine show out there. You found it. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joel, obviously, as always, joined by Aaron and Colin, and excited to be with you guys too. Thanks for hanging out again today. How are you guys?
Wouldn't miss it for the world, Joel.
That's what I like to hear. Can you meet or raise that energy, Colin? Go.
No.
There you have it.
To be here.
That would be a no.
Not, yeah. He wins on the excitement scale.
I would say so. But I'm excited. So today we have kind of our second in kind of the gift wine category, right? We're trying to find some good giftable wines.
I love
I'm excited to get into this one. I hope we have it. I'll tell you right off the bat. I mean, just the label of this bottle, extremely cool, very pretty. Would look nice. Thank you for showing it, Colin. Would look nice as you hand it to your host or hostess, or gift it to somebody. So I'm feeling pretty good, at least about that, and hoping we have some decent wine in there too.
Yeah. For sure. If the wine matches the bottle, we're in for a treat.
Could not agree more.
Normally we say don't, judge a wine by its label, but it's a great label. So
the label wins.
Good start. Bonus points.
Totally.
Yeah, and actually we're back with Tenuta di Salviano. This is a brand we've tried before. We tried the Super Umbrian was from
that's right.
Tenuta di Salviano. So it'll be interesting to see their take on white, since from what I remember, we all really enjoyed their take on red. So super excited to get back into this one.
Yeah. And I remember very specifically that we were like, what is this region?
Yeah.
Why haven't we been here before? We got to get back here. And so very cool to be able to revisit the region and revisit it with a different style of wine, so we can kind of get the full gamut.
100%.
I couldn't agree more. I don't want to delay this any further. I want to start talking about the bottle. Before we do that, got to ask one question. It's our question of the week, guys. So question of the week this week is, what is the last white wine that took you by surprise? Okay? Good or bad? Tell us about the grape. Tell us the actual wine, whatever it is, the region. Let us know what it was. We're looking for more things to try. So hop on Instagram. Let us know what the last white wine to really take you by surprise was.
I like that question, Joel.
Yeah? Why?
I like that question because I don't think a lot of people associate white wine with being surprised by the flavor of white wine. I think wine people do, right? I think if you're really into wine, that you know the complexity and the excitement of white wine. But I think if you are an average wine drinker, you associate white wine with Sauvignon Blanc, Pinot Grigio, Chardonnay, and you have those taste profiles just kind of locked into your brain.
Sure.
And I think for our listeners who, like me, are in here trying to expand their wine horizon, these kind of episodes are always really exciting because we are trying white wine grapes that push outside the boundaries of what are the normal white wine expectations. And so I'm excited to see what people write in response to this question.
And I'm glad you clarified one thing in there, which was like probably the average wine drinker, because I was about to jump down your throat, because white wine excites the hell out of me. So
yeah,
I'm super excited to be here.
Sure, because it's these two buckets, right? It's like if you get into the wine world, you know that. But I think white wine, I think people know ahead of time. If you are just a non-wine drinker or just a casual wine drinker, you assume that there's all sorts of crazy red wines, right? And you make the assumption that like white wine is like bland or basic. And I think that's like a safe assumption if you were kind of outside the wine world. And when you're inside the wine world, you learn pretty quickly that white wine is bananas. It's just all over the place. There's just a wild variation of white wine out there.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Well, I think That's part of what we're trying to get by asking that question. And I think it's part of what we're trying to really prove and talk about on today's show, too, as we get into this very cool wine. So, Aaron, let's get into this one. Tell the listener a little bit more about the wine that we're going to be drinking today.
Absolutely. So this is, as we mentioned, from the producer Tenuta di Salviano, which has a really nice little profile of wines. This wine is named in memory of their grandfather. And it's Rigogoli. That translates to the Oriole. So that's the name of the wine itself. It's from Umbria, as we mentioned. It is 50% Viognier and 50% Grechetto di Todi. It's 2022. It's 13.5 ABV. And gentlemen, I think one of the exciting, interesting things about this is this bottle of white wine runs you about $50.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
So I think this is
Pricey.
probably the most expensive still white wine that we've had on the show.
And can I just butt in and like we all act surprised about the price, and that's because this bottle was provided by the importer, co-brand. I think we should just call that out.
Yeah.
Because,
Thank you all very much.
Yeah, thank
Yes.
you. They've
Huge
actually helped
thank
us
you.
out with quite a bit of our wine over the past couple of months. But $50 is a lot more expensive than what I think we would usually spend on a bottle of white wine. So it'll be super interesting to see how the value plays out in that situation.
Well, I think too, again, going back to the bucket concept of like your casual wine drinker versus your wine person, your average person that goes and grabs a bottle of white wine, and that's their drink of choice, would probably not go and grab a $50 bottle of white wine. That's a very specific purchase, and so I'm excited to see what's in store for us.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a lot of, cool, interesting things about this wine today, to be honest with you. The backstory, I think, is very cool. It's very endearing. These grapes, I think, are very cool. Going back to Umbria is very cool. So, this is everything points to this being a very fun and interesting experience here. Before we do that, too, Colin mentioned that the fine folks over at Co-Brands have been providing us with a whole bunch of wines over the last couple of months. We appreciate them so much. A lot of the times, these wines are coming out of our pockets. So just a reminder, if you are appreciating what we're doing and getting something and maybe learning a little bit, we'd love if you would buy us a glass. And you can do that at buymeacoffee.com/cheers3. Don't even worry about putting in the HTTPS :
No one does
//www.
that
You don't
anymore.
need it
Don't do it.
anymore. Don't do it. Just start with the B.
The
Buy
internet knows.
me a coffee. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. We don't need to talk about that. Let's do it.
Tastes like wine.
All right, Aaron. Start us off, man. What are you getting?
Oh, shit,
Wait,
I
I
shouldn't-
hope people at home.
I was
if
totally
you didn't-
unready.
If you were not
I forgot.
watching, you were
I took a
straight
sip.
on drinking this very much. Realized that you were supposed to be smelling it and tried to fake it. That totally happens. What I loved was you trying to fake not doing it and kind of angling the glass down a little bit.
All on camera. Thank you for that. Thank you for calling out, and it's immortalized
You're welcome. Yep.
on the interwebs. Actually, right off the bat, I'm actually surprised. I was expecting citrus, but really the thing I'm getting right off the top is actually more honey. And my brain keeps telling me to look for like citrus and apple, but the thing that is right on top is like that honeysuckle smell.
Nice. I like
Yeah,
that, Colin.
I'm getting, I think it kind of plays into the same realm as honey, but like a waxiness to this wine. Like it actually kind of smells like almost like a beeswax or something like that. And then there's some greenness in there too. Anybody else getting a little non-fruit greenness? Maybe a little like
Yes.
grassiness or something
I was
like
gonna
that.
say grass. I actually think you guys are crazy. Like the to me it's citrus and grass is what it is. Like citrusiness, lemon, and green grass. Yeah.
For sure. I'm also getting some other green fruits, like a little bit of pear, a little bit of apple, and then maybe a little bit
I'll
of
take apple.
underripe peach as well. I think that waxiness, the citrus, and the grassiness are the things that really drive the nose.
For sure. Let's drink it. Okay, Aaron, now.
I can drink it?
Go. Yeah.
One thing right off the bat that I really noticed, like the weight of this wine. There's just a little bit more body. There's just that oakiness, I think, gives it just a little bit more. And then, that honey's there, but there's also just a little bit of maybe peach, a little bit there that I wasn't getting on the nose at all, but is there in the taste a little bit. And then I think more of the citrus that Joel was talking about, a little bit more of the apple and whatnot on the taste that I wasn't getting on the nose. But I think the feel, the weight is the first thing that I notice that separates this from, I think, the average white that you would try.
Yeah, I think the face-ripping acidity is the first thing I notice. I mean, my God. That is some acid. Really, you can really feel it. But you're right, it is a very weighty wine. Joel, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on the grassiness on the palate versus the nose.
Well, it's funny because I feel vindicated on the lemon. Like, it's like taking a bite of a lemon.
Yeah, it is.
And again, I always put this out there. Like, I don't mean that in a terrible way.
Right.
It's just, it's very, very lemony. And then less of that green grass, I think, on the palate, more melon. Anybody getting some, like a little bit of a cantaloupe situation, maybe?
Sure. I'm right there with you. No, I think that's
which is nice, too. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. No, for sure. It's so hard to get past the acid.
But I think the weightiness of the wine is what's helping with that, though. It's like, it's not going to have, we talk about how, like, tannin sometimes helps with acidity, and obviously this is not going to have a lot of tannins, but I think the weight of the wine kind of is playing that same role of helping to balance out the acidity a little bit.
I think that's a really nice call. And what's funny is I was so focused on the acid that I didn't realize, too, that the finish of the sip is really nice because I think it has that weight in there. Like, it's not like a sharp, it's not like a warhead. It's not truly, I was kind of joking before, like taking a bite of a lemon, because there's something carrying it through, and I think it is that weight. So at first I was like, you guys are crazy with this weightiness, but then I do see that.
Yeah, it's super interesting, too, because the finish uncovers a whole bunch of stuff that I don't necessarily get on the sip. Like, I think there's some subtle baking spice notes that I didn't necessarily get on the initial sip or on the nose, but really come through on the palate. It's almost like, kind of reminds me of baked pears that you would use in a pie or something like that. That's kind of the vibe of the finish for me, kind of like that sugar-coated pear. It's a really nice finish. Fantastic. And it's lasting a really long time.
It's funny you said sugar-coated pear, because the thing that's actually reminding me of, which is embarrassing that's reminding me of this, it's reminding me of when you take a tequila shot and you have the lime and you have you put the salt or the sugar on your hand and you lick it and then, chew the lime. That combination of having the sugar, the salt, and the lime, like that balance, is actually what's reminding me of in my mouth right now. And I think it is that combination of the weight and the acidity that is what's creating that, like, similar feeling. Is that way off? I'm sorry.
I don't think it's way off, but I think
shots.
let me bridge what you just said to Colin's face right now. I see where you're coming from, but I think the difference is the salt kills the bitterness and the sourness and the alcohol and all of that. Like, the salt is there to stop it all. And in this case, I think what's happening with the body in there, the result of that some time spent in oak, is that it's the perfect vehicle to carry it and to finish the sip and becoming the exact, like, counterpart to the acidity that is hitting you in the face up front.
It's definitely dampening it.
How did I do, Colin?
Yeah. No. I think so. What Joel said makes a lot more sense to me. Aaron, I'm glad you're experiencing that, but I just can't. I can't get there. But yeah, what I think we're all really talking about here is just a really well-balanced wine. I think the weight of the wine really balances the acidity. You know, all the flavors in there work really well with everything else. I think the waxiness actually comes through. The honeyness comes through on the palate. And there's also one thing I didn't note before, just getting quickly back into some other flavors. There's a slight little bit of floral lift in there. Joel, maybe you said floral. I think grassy kind of turned into floral.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely not like green grass that you got on the palate. It's more like flowers.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because we're harping on this whole balance thing. And sometimes I feel like that will mean that a wine is just very nice and even the whole way through. In this case, it's like the front is it's doing a lot and the back is doing a lot to balance. Like it's still balanced just because there's so much going on. I think that's why we're having such a discussion about it, because it is balanced, but it's at the end of a quite the journey, right, on this sip. Like there's a lot that's happening in between.
For sure. It's super complex. There's a lot going on. You know, we've talked about drinkers versus thinkers before. This is a thinker. You could sit there and think about this wine for hours and still maybe, I don't even know if it come to a proper conclusion. But it's very complex.
I feel like that's true, and I feel like anytime we go long on this show, you, Colin, tell us we need to tighten it up. So to not go hours, I'm going to say, let's go ahead, let's let this thing hang out for a little bit, let's think about it, let's learn a little bit about what we're drinking, we'll circle back.
Time to drop some knowledge. Wine drops.
All right, so listen, we've talked about how we've been to Umbria before, we really enjoyed it. Today we're having a Bianco Umbria. So my first question, and this is to you, Aaron, what really is a Bianco Umbria IGT? What makes it special? What makes it different from other subregions of Umbria?
So a Bianco Umbria IGT is a regional white wine classification in Umbria, Italy. The grapes must come from Umbria, but the blend can change. All right, so I think that's a little bit different than some of the other regional classifications that we've had in the past. IGT gives winemakers the freedom to mix many grapes and choose oak aging. Now, DOC and DOCG subregions follow stricter local rules. So IGT allows more grape options and fewer limits on oak, and then climate and elevations will shape styles.
I just want to point out the whole IGT versus DOC and DOCG thing. I just think it's important when you're looking at the classification system. A lot of time you associate classification with quality. That's not always going to be true. There are plenty of amazing IGT wines. So don't be afraid if you see an IGT or something that doesn't have a DOC or DOCG label, because that doesn't necessarily mean it's not quality. Just really what it means is it doesn't have to adhere to stricter rules set by the region that the wine's being made in. Some of the best Italian wines in the world are IGT wines. Super Tuscans all don't fall under the Chianti region. So, just something to keep in mind as you're shopping.
I think, Colin, that's a really good point. It also comes down to kind of what you're looking for, right? And because if you are going, if you're looking for a Barolo, you want a DOCG, and it needs to fall in that category and come out of that region and follow those guidelines. But if you're looking for something else and you're willing to kind of step outside, like we're trying a really cool wine that's an IGT, and they're allowed to be more flexible and more creative with how they're making this wine. All right, so Colin, this is a wine blend of Viognier and Grechetto di Todi. What does each of those grapes bring to this bottle of wine?
Sure. Yeah, super cool mix. I'm not sure we've ever had varietal Viognier. There's a lot you can do with it from oak aging. You can see it varietal. It's just one of those grapes where the winemaker has a whole lot of things that you can do with it. So what does it usually bring to a blend, specifically this blend? You're going to find some more of those peach and floral notes. It has some of those natural spice notes as well. It also brings a lot of weight and richness to a wine that other white wine grapes don't necessarily bring. The Grechetto di Todi, that brings the acid, baby. That's where you're getting all this from. That's the tension, the acidity. That's what you're getting on the palate from the Grechetto. You can also get some of that herbal quality. I think maybe that's where the grassiness is coming from, and a lot of different savory tones in there as well. So, and when you put those together, if you think about just kind of what each of those bring, it kind of sounds like it would make a really cool, really well-balanced wine. You have the bold richness from the Viognier, and then you have that Grechetto di Todi, which brings the acidity and some of those more interesting herbal flavors. I think for what we've been experiencing here, make a lovely pair.
Sure.
So, Joel, can you talk about specifically what happens in the winery that makes this wine a special wine?
I can. Headline here is love and care. So listen to this. I think this is pretty cool. So grapes are harvested by hand to avoid damaging the grape, making sure that the grape retains its healthy structure, maintains all those flavors, all those aromas. So picked by hand, and then they actually chill the grapes in a cool room for hours, which sounds just very relaxing for the grapes, which I'm sure it is. But also what that does is it sets the aromas in the actual grape before they're extracted. So let them sit for a little while in a cool, relaxed room. They sort the fruit twice, which, if you're not familiar, really just means they go through and cull the bad fruit out 2 times. They do that process twice. So move forward with the best grapes, press these grapes with care in a style that retains the fruity nature of the wine. And then, like we saw in this wine that we're drinking today, a little bit of age in some oak. So adding that creaminess, adding that body, adding those really cool baking spices that we're finding at the end to kind of account for some of the acidity that we're getting from that Grechetto di Todi. So all of that comes together to present this, beautifully colored, very, crisp, but still full-bodied wine that we're enjoying today.
I love how you presented the grapes chilling out in the room. I don't know if you meant to say it the way you said it, but I can just picture the grapes just hanging. They're just like, "What's up, guys? We're getting fruity over here. Getting fruity."
Hey, your aroma's setting in all right over there.
The fruitiness.
They're setting in all right.
I'm sold.
Yeah, we're doing real good.
Little do they know the next process is them being stomped. Now it's kind of sad.
Painfully crushed.
Why?
I want to go back to the cool room. Anyway, so learned a little bit more here about what we're drinking. I don't think there's anything else to do here other than let's go back, let's get some final thoughts, and let's give our reviews.
Yeah, but did they like it? It's time for the review.
All right, so time for the reviews. Before we get going, listener, something that we, the 3 of us, Stop Wasting Your Wine hosts, want to talk to you about. This is a new year, in case you haven't noticed. It's 2026. It might take you a minute to get used to writing 2026 instead of 2025 on all of those documents. That's okay. But
checks.
I'm still doing it. It's going to take a minute. However, one thing we did want to talk about.
Writing checks.
Yeah, that is weird. You need to get a card. Before we get into all of that, listen, we were talking new year, new us. Something that we're going to do, and we're going to start doing every single year on this show, is as we refresh the year itself, we are also going to be refreshing our wine fridges. And what we mean by that is we are clearing out the fridges. As always, anything that we had in our wine fridges will go into a place of esteem and honor. So this is not a demotion for anything that is currently in our wine fridge. It's just those were our wine fridges of 2025. We want to clear those things out and find our wine fridge wines of 2026. So we are starting clean slate. So as we go into these reviews, and for you listener at home, just know that we got 3 coveted spots in there that we are hoping to fill very soon in those wine fridges.
I'm excited we're doing this. And before we continue, I know everyone's going to be like, well, you made such a big deal about the Don Camp Werner because, I wanted to put that in my wine fridge after we did the review. So
that was a really good impression.
Thank you. Yeah, nailed it. I'd like to go back and put the Pierre and Antonin orange wine in my 2026 wine fridge because now that it's empty, it absolutely deserves to be in there.
Wow.
I'm not going to object because I'm a good person. I'm not going to make a big deal about it. I'm proud of you, Colin. I'm proud of you for following your heart. And so I'm not going to give you a hard time about it. Good for you.
I appreciate that. Thank you. No, that's awesome. Very nice. New rules.
New Colin.
Now it's acceptable.
Colin, new year, new Colin.
love this new Colin. What else are we going to find from you this
Colin
year?
has a natural wine in his wine fridge.
A natural
Colin has
orange
a
wine.
natural orange wine in his wine fridge.
Get into it. Deal with
God.
it.
Wow.
2026 is going to be weird,
It's
baby. Let's do it.
Strap in, folks.
No, I love this. I love this new rule because having only 3 spots in our wine fridge is great for us making sure that we're really holding that quality bar. But we're getting locked in, right? Like, we have to take stuff out. We're taking really good stuff out. Wine fridge wine is always going to be a wine fridge wine. It's up on the shelf. It's great. It's, it'll always be there. This is going to allow us to get more excellent wine up in front of people.
Absolutely.
And so I'm really excited. Like, again, like the Pierre and Antonin is now officially a wine fridge wine. It would have been a must share, and now it's upgraded because that spa is open. So fantastic. Love it.
Yep. Love it.
And Colin
very good.
put a
Awesome.
natural wine in his wine fridge.
Crazy. Awesome. All right. So we've got one in there. Let's talk about today's wine, though. So let's get into our reviews. And Aaron, I've kind of been going to you first for everything so far today. I'm going to continue that streak, and I'll go to you, sir. Tell me your final thoughts and give us your review.
Yeah, I have always been, from the beginning of the show, the person playing catch up on wine expertise, trying to learn, trying to get my tasting chops up to where you guys are. So I always appreciate a wine where the structure is forefront, because that is something that very early on I was able to kind of wrap my mind around, and I just love the acidity and the weight of this wine. I think it is so unique and so interesting, and then pairing that with these kind of deeper honey and peach and just a really nice flavor profile. I'm just enjoying the heck out of this wine. And then on top of that, I can't help but notice that a lot of times when we get a glass of white wine, people chill the hell out of their wine. And we know, and we've talked about this on the show before, that people over chill their white. And we talked about the 2020 rule and taking the bottle out of the fridge 20 minutes before so that it gets down to the right temperature. And this is a wine that we started to drink at the right temperature, and I have been drinking it casually for over an hour, and it has gotten a little bit warmer, and I am still enjoying the heck out of it. Just something about the structure and flavor profile of this wine just maintains the quality and the enjoyability of this wine as it warms up. And that's a great feature. So I think this is an absolute must share, even at the price point. I think just the region and the conversation and the quality and everything about it. If you were looking to get someone a nice bottle of wine, like we talked about, this is our gift episode, like trying to talk about, finding a nice gift bottle. It's a beautiful bottle of wine. It has this lovely artwork on the front. If you have a friend who's like really into white wines, this is a good gift bottle. Like it has a nice price point as a gift. It has a nice story. It's a high quality must share. Absolutely.
All right, Colin, how about you?
I think what Aaron said about temperature is really important because I'm actually enjoying my wine more now that it's warmed up a little bit. And I think I was actually drinking my wine a little bit too cold at the beginning. A wine made in this style with the oak and aged on the lees should actually be served a little bit warmer. It shouldn't be served, fridge cold. So I think some time out in the air, and this might be a white wine to decant too. Honestly, that might be playing a large part of it as well. But I think the acid has kind of backed off a little bit, and the fruit has really come forward. Like I think it's not a completely different wine, but I'm enjoying the fruit more than I think I was before. And I'm not sure if that was what combination of temperature and time that is, but that's kind of how it's changed for me over the past hour or so. And then how do I feel about this wine? I like it a lot. I think it's super cool. I mentioned before, it's one of those ones that's a thinker, not a drinker, which every once in a while, like you just want to dig into a wine that's gonna make you question everything you know about white wine, and this is kind of one of those. So I think from a structure aspect, we talked about it, super well balanced. I think the flavors are really cool. I think it's a really unique blend. So for me, it's a must share. It's a very cool, very delicious, unique, interesting, and complex blend that I would love to show somebody who loves white wine, because I think they'd also really enjoy it.
Love that. So an interesting thing you guys were talking about, is it time or is it temperature with the acidity backing off and all that? I had my first glass warmer because I didn't have the bottle as cold as I wanted. So I left the bottle in the fridge, let it get colder. My second glass was colder than my first, and very different, yes, but the acidity way muted. So I do think it's the time. It's the time that it's open and letting it relax a little bit.
Love that.
But still there, I think, as we're all experiencing, right? Regardless of temperature. But I think it's very fun. So for me, it's interesting because like a flaw that I am okay with is too much acidity in wine, right? I'm not talking about this wine. I'm talking about wine in general. If there's a wine that's too acidic, I will typically be like, it's kind of fun. I like it. That fits my profile. This is not a flaw in this wine. It's very intentional. It's very fun, and it's very balanced. And so to me, it's a fun experience to be able to have something that is so acidic while still being complex and really nice the whole way through. So I'm enjoying the heck out of this wine, and it's going to be a must share for me as well, a very strong must share. And I will add that is including considering that $50 price tag. And I have no reservation about that.
No, I completely agree. And I'm glad you brought that up, because I think the complexity, and we talked about finish earlier, and I think we should bring it up again because it's still really nice. But, this has everything you look for in a nice, presentable white wine.
Yeah.
It's complex, great finish, and I would not hesitate to pay $50 for this wine. It's
Totally
excellent.
No, and you kind of know, we've talked about it before. We've talked about wines in the past that have been good, but at the price tag, we're like, you're reaching higher than you should be. And this is one that's like, no, you've done the work. Like, this is a complex, delicious wine, and that's the price point that's earning. And so, fine. Like, there's an opportunity to buy this again, and there's the right moment for it. I'm going to buy it.
It's a $50 experience. Yeah.
$150 experience.
Yeah. There you have it. 3 very confident must shares on this very cool Bianco Umbria IGT. Learned a whole bunch about this and had just a heck of an experience giving it a go. So very fun. We'll let you all go, but before that, let's do a quick game. Just a very quick one.
Yeah.
And let's do a little PiNope or Chardonnay. All right, Aaron, I hear that you have a good PiNope or Chardonnay for us today. Go ahead and kick us off.
Yes, I am excited because I had this experience the other day. In the hustle and bustle of the holidays, I opened a really nice bottle of Barolo, and I had a few glasses. My wife had a glass, and then I sealed it and I put it back in the fridge. And then the days went by, and a couple weeks went by, and I realized that I did not finish the bottle.
Ooh.
And it had
that's a foul.
been sitting in my fridge for a few weeks at that point. PiNope or Chardonnay. Just taking a shot at that bottle of really nice wine that's been sitting in the back of your fridge for just a little bit too long after you opened it. But you just, maybe it's fine.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you, unless it's port, it's not going to be fine.
Potty
PiNope or
Cooper.
Chardonnay.
Yeah, no, that's a huge PiNope for me. That's going to be straight vineger at that point.
You're just gonna dump it. You're not even gonna try.
Yeah, no, I'm not even going to try it because you don't need to. That would be gross. It just wouldn't be very good.
Okay, I'm gonna Chardonnay this because I feel like I've been in this exact position, Aaron, where it's like you spent a good amount of money on this. You were so excited about it, you forgot about it, and then Like I can't bring myself to pour it out without giving it just one little sip to make sure some miracle didn't happen and it somehow the cork completely resealed and the oxygen escaped the bottle and it maintained the flavor profile. It's never happened, but I'm giving it one quick sip. So I am going to Chardonnay this one.
Thank you. I'm also going to Chardonnay. I'm going to Chardonnay. I'm going to try. And I think my brain, no matter what, even if it's good, is my brain's going to tell me I'm dying and I poison myself and I'm not going to be able to enjoy it because I'm going to fear that it's vinegar. But I'm going to try it. It's just, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it. Chardonnay.
You might be able to use it as a nice, salad dressing. Maybe put some oil in there, a little salt and pepper.
Do you think it matters if it's a white wine,
right there.
wine or red wine? Does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter. After a month,
Red vinegar or white vinegar.
Yeah, that's really the only difference.
Hey, can I tell you something, Ashley? I'm super glad that you asked this question because I might put a little spin on this here too, because I found while I was in my parents' house for the holidays, I found a bottle of Tokai from 1981. Wow. And I brought it up with me. I have no hope for this thing being amazing or being drinkable at all. Do you, PiNope or Chardonnay, should we give this thing a try? Let me see.
100% Chardonnay.
Chardonnay.
That's an easy Chardonnay, especially because Tokai is a type of wine with the acidity and the sugar that can age for a really long time. So that might be
45 years old.
1981.
If the cork is still decent and it was like decently preserved, that might be a special bottle of wine.
Well, here's the thing. We're in foil. I can't see the cork. I will tell you that my parents are not wine drinkers, so this thing has not been, properly aged on purpose or anything. It's been in cupboards and boxes in the closet for 45 years, people. Let's give this thing a try. Let's do it, right?
Yes.
I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
We'll
It's
post
garbage.
that on the Instagram.
Okay.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, we'll give it a go. We'll see.
That might be something special.
Or something awful.
Hey,
Or something
either
special.
way, it's a great experiment.
There you go. I love it.
We're having a good time.
All right, we're going to do it.
Don't
So
die.
keep an eye out. We'll put that up on Instagram, us giving this thing a go and seeing how it works. You never know. I love the PiNope or Chardonnay. Very fun. Thanks for throwing that out to us. I think we have done so much on this show. I think we're good. Let's call it. Very fun. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you, listeners, for hanging out with us. Really appreciate you listening. Really appreciate you telling a friend. And Colin, if anybody wants to hang out with us, talk to us, best way to do it.
Yeah, sure. I like how I'm the go-to on this now. I've done it pretty much every week for the last
You know what? I changed my
4 or
mind.
5
Aaron,
weeks. Hey,
kids at home want to talk to us.
No.
How do they want to do it?
I've gotten really good at it. But
Okay,
go ahead,
I'm going
Aaron.
back to Colin.
It's your
Colin.
turn. No, it's Aaron's turn. Go ahead.
I'm going to do it. So listen, if you guys want to hang out with us, if you want to see me try this 45-year-old Tokai, if you just want to talk to us in general, if you want to answer our question of the week, which is, what's the last white wine that totally surprised you? Check us out on Instagram, Stop Wasting Your Wine. Check us out on YouTube, Stop Wasting Your Wine, or go to stopwastingyourwine.com and check out our website and all the wines that we have tried, and maybe pick yourself out a fun one to try with us. See how I just stole that and totally rocked it?
Yeah, you rocked that.
That was
That
good.
was
That was
much
good.
better
You should
than
do
I
it every
would've
week,
done.
really. Honestly.
Yeah,
Maybe I will.
Stop
I didn't even
throwing
wanna
it
do
to
it anymore.
me. Why are you throwing it to me?
Yeah.
Done. All right. We've done it officially. Thank you so much. If you're still with us, we appreciate you. And we'll see you next week on another great episode. And in the meantime, just remember, stop wasting your wine.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.